What's up, everybody? We're back in the barbershop, Holla and Tru, and we're here with two hip-hop icons, two legends at the Seattle Interactive Conference. We got the one and only Sir Mix-a-Lot, and we've got the one and only DJ Maseo from De La Soul fame. Thank you guys for joining us here in the barbershop.
Thanks for having us.
Good. Now, before we even get started, I want to talk to you first of all, because Tru and I were talking this morning about who's the real De La Soul fan, and because he had the throwback hairdo, but he got the blonde streaks and stuff. Like I told him, I got it when it was official, like when I had the real pasta noose and the real True Boy hair, and now I got the same hairdo as you now. Yeah, keeping it real. Get close. I was going to ask you too. Your hair looks really, man, sharp for somebody that's been around.
I just left the barbershop. Don't front. I mean, I was trying to hide where I'm losing it, man.
He's looking real good. It's looking
like
real
in my grease.
Well, I want to talk to you guys about why you're here at Seattle Interactive. You guys did a seminar upstairs talking about the current state of the music industry, a little bit about the past state of the music industry. Mix, from your standpoint, with the way music has really been consumed lately, a lot of people got used to getting music for free for a long time. Where do you see we're going with this thing?
And you're right. I talked about that upstairs. That you have a generation of fans that are used to getting it for free. So as an artist, you have to figure out how to manipulate these waters and how to monetize content in this climate. And it can be done, but it starts with a one-on-one relationship with the fan. They have to respect you. Once they respect you, they will support you. They'll come out to those shows. They'll come out. They'll do the merch. They'll do the things that it takes to keep you in the studio. Keep you being an artist as opposed to having to do like we used to have to do. I'm sure all artists used to do music about 2 hours a night.
Right.
Because the rest of that, I was sweeping floors.
You got to pay the bills, right?
And my heart was compromised because of it.
Okay.
Right. Well, I just want to talk about, you guys talked about as far as the way music is going right now, not needing the big label. So I'll just ask you, Mace, about pretty much doing it from the trunk, doing everything independent. That's what we're doing as a barbershop. We had some stuff with the radio, we was attached to that, and now we do everything on our own. It's through our own website. So what are just the ABCs, I guess, of doing it independent or doing it by yourself?
I mean, the overall is just, I think, is implementing some of the administrative ideas that the record company once had for us and bringing it in on your end of the business. I mean, marketing and promotion still applies. Still having to meet and greet and shake hands and kiss babies, that all still matters. Going up to radio, all of that still matters. And here it is. Radio's now in a different format. It's streaming. We've got a lot of online radio shows. People doing Ustream, KIRO-TV. You have all these mediums now that has transcended to the internet. You still have to do some of the traditional methods of going to market and promote your brand. But you've got to be the total package these days. You just can't be one who could just make music and sit back and wait for it to do what it do. You got to get out there and be proactive.
So now you talked about being a total package, and from an artist standpoint, back in the day, I know that you guys, the big thing was to go out and be signed to a major label. Everybody wanted to be part of Warner Brothers. Somebody wanted to be part of Universal. But now that's not really the case. These big guys are not the end game for the new and upcoming artists. What do you think is the ultimate goal for the new guys that are coming out?
The ultimate goal is a seamless connection with the fans. I mean, Jay-Z's line, "I don't get dropped, I drop the label," that was huge, bro. I mean, that was groundbreaking. Artists never said that. And it's true, you don't really need the labels. I mean, what he just did with Kickstarter, that doesn't prove it nothing real. So I think that a lot of artists have to realize, first and foremost, you're a walking, talking brand. Don't ever compromise it. Don't ever let anybody try to tell you that you need blank to sell records, because that's a myth. You may need some of the, like you said, some of the administrative stuff. I use majors for licensing a lot. I get my stuff.
And when you say licensing, explain to people what you mean.
Example, the movie Wolf of Wall Street. Baby Got Back was in that movie. I let Universal negotiates that when I take a bulk of the monies. It's not like the old days where that deal would have happened and I would have got 15%. Now I'm getting 85, 87 in some cases. So it's a lot nicer. They still get paid, and they don't need as much staff. Right. So I mean, I guess it works out for everyone.
Yeah, they're more like a broker now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
So you mentioned that about his Kickstarter program. Maybe you can talk to people in the barbershop. What's actually going on with you and the rest of the guys from De La Soul, the Kickstarter program you guys got going on?
The Kickstarter program is an idea that we decided to take interest in about a year or so ago. When we decided to do it based on the type of deals that we went looking for, and the offers that were coming back weren't really quite suitable to what we were conditioned to. So the method of crowdfunding came up. We knew about it for some time, but we actually had the courage to take interest in it, well, to move forward on it when we weren't happy with the offers that were coming back from the record labels. So we decided to go that route because it was more about ownership, more about control, more about, really maximizing more in our entrepreneurship, and just the idea of giving up so much of what we create for so little that just can't be anymore. And here it is, I have a substantial touring record. The type of money they was offering me, I could make it 2 shows.
Really?
Yeah, it's important too. He made a point. I want to chime in a little bit. When these guys were giving us these big advances, a lot of people, the myth was, if you got $1 million advance, the first $1 million you recoup. No. Remember, the artist is only getting roughly 12%. You have to recoup at that rate.
Right.
It's not the other 80 cents or so. That doesn't count against me.
No.
So in other words, 12 cents on the dollar, you have to. That's what they get. That's what they pull
they start
back
pulling their million
to get
back
that
from.
million back. So it took an artist forever to
Right.
recoup. But in that era, we were conditioned to think that was the norm.
Indentured
You
servants.
worked for an advance.
Yeah.
That's what you did. Now it's not like that. Now I go out when I leave any place, I leave a check. Because it's
You
just
should, right?
As well you should.
Yeah. Back in the day, I just left with a promise.
Yeah.
Right.
You go get a check, bro. Trust me. That was it.
Well, I want to talk about some of these Kickstarters and just how you really have a successful Kickstarter. I've been talking to some other people that have been coming through. You talk to some of the tech companies who do this and do that. And the main thing I keep hearing is about the Kickstarter. I know it's kind of a new thing, at least for me. I mean, I don't know much about it. So how do you have a successful Kickstarter campaign? I know you guys talked about being engaged with your fans. Is that really, I guess what it's about is being engaged with the people who are going to be your consumer, or just what's the plan with that?
Well, you can't treat it like a hustle. You can't say, yo, I'm looking to raise this money to pocket it. It's about the project,
Okay.
and it's about your commitment to your project and what you've been doing.
Yeah.
I don't think I've raised, let me say we, and I'm in a group. I don't think we raised this money based on what we've achieved over the last 20 plus years. I think we was able to raise this money what we did in the last 3 years. And what I did in the last 3 years was giving, was very giving to my fans. It was all a natural thing, and it was something I was able to understand after I did it. Because mind you, I gave my fans my music out of frustration. They had got my entire catalog. We came up with an idea. Actually, Dave, True Boy, Plug 2, came up with the idea of like, yo, we should give our music away for free. Okay, great. Do it for Valentine's Day, like a love letter. And we give it out for 25 hours because it's February 25th. Great idea. Okay, let's talk about the repercussions behind that. Because here it is, you can also get sued for giving away
Your own music.
Man.
It's tough.
And the likeness of everybody that's a part of it. Because here it is, we're a big sampling group as well. So there's a lot of people that need to be broke off financially behind that, or look to be broke off.
That was a gamble.
It was a major gamble, a major risk. Don't don't front. I won't front. Like, I did get the call from my lawyer. You know?
Yeah.
But it's still going on. The Kickstarter program is still going on. They can still people get involved in it.
We did it anyway.
Yeah.
And knowing the repercussions, we did it anyway. Why? That's hip-hop. Overcome our frustrations, we're going to buck the system. That's what we do. That's what we do. You know? So, in being fan favorite, let alone there's a lot of fans within the industry. There's a lot of people in the industry that grew up with us that have amicable power, you know. So they saw the significance, you know. Here it is. If I can't monetize behind my own music, then why should Warner Brothers? You know, why? You're not even interested in monetizing because you're not looking to do what's necessary for us to go to the next step of this new medium of how we put out music. So, being that we're dealing with this frustration, I'm gonna give my music away for free because at least they're happy. At least there's a significant audience out there who's actually been checking for us and who may not even heard. Who've been checking for us maybe since the Gorillas, but only know me for my laugh and Dave for the verse, but don't know the rest of the group's body of work. You know. So here it is,
introducing them to some
it's
all brand new to them.
Introducing them to a whole new thing that they knew nothing about.
I like it, man.
That was one thing that here it is didn't realize that helped us. I know the thing that truly helped us was when we did the J Dilla mixtape and all the money went to Dilla's foundation. So I think I truly want to say all the things that we've given has helped support that Kickstarter campaign. Because not only that we just gave music, we gave quality music. We gave music that people were like, yo man, I would have bought it regardless. You know?
So when can people start to expect something new from y'all then? When can we get that new project?
Well, this weekend coming up in New York, we have a listening party for the Kickstarter fans.
Okay.
The following weekend, we have one in LA for the Kickstarter fans. Right now, everything's pertaining to the Kickstarter's fans. We look to release the album by March. It should have been released by this year, but due to certain things we felt we needed to add creatively, some things we had to take off the record because of just administration and business and how it goes sometimes, you know. Some things, I mean, to do something great, you're gonna have a little adversity.
Crack a few eggs, right?
Here it is, we got this incredible record with David Byrne from Talking Heads, but that's been a struggle on the administrative side. So it'd be little things like that it'd be little things like that that can delay the record. We also got a record with Snoop based on his schedule. That's been a slight delay. But finally got the verse, got it. You know what I'm saying? So you know, and here it is, you know, this weekend we actually get to play all of this stuff for the Kickstarter fans so we can let them know we are meeting our commitment. Unfortunately, we couldn't meet the demand of the date, but here's some proof because we don't want to make the mistake TLC made. You know, well, it looked like they lied.
So it looked like they put it in their pocket.
You get it here on the Barbershop. We keep it real.
At this point, you feel that way. You know what I'm saying? But through the entire time, it was believable what they were doing. You know, like I support it. You know, just how sincere they presented themselves. You know what I mean? And I think we exuded that same sincerity, and it's important to follow through. And we let everybody know that money's not for my pocket or for my kids, and that's for that project.
Right. Yeah, so you really just got to be engaged with what he's saying. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of getting to as far as the social part of it, and as far as the Kickstarter. Everybody that's came through here, they have some type of way of staying engaged with the fans. So.
You gotta earn their trust.
Right.
It's all about money. You want somebody to give you their money.
And to me, it's about it's the type of interaction, right? So you can talk at your fans. A lot of cats do that. You know, MF this and y'all ends this, and but what happens is brands pay attention to that, right? So we did a campaign with a brand, a large, well, I can say it, Procter & Gamble, a while back. It was a huge campaign. It was an internet-based campaign. The first thing they said when they showed up is that we've been following you for 6 months. And they looked at what I said. More importantly, they looked at what I didn't say. So it was like they noticed that the fans were engaged. There was a back and forth. It wasn't just 1 million followers, nobody saying nothing. And that, so a lot of artists need to understand that it's what you say, how you say it. You don't want to be no sellout, but at the same time, you don't want to come off as Uncle Jigaboo either.
Right. I tell people that all the time on our social media. Be careful what you say because they are watching you.
You can't put it back.
They're not watching. They're watching. Yep. And the person who might be hiring you or firing you
change their mind.
Exactly.
Yes,
right
sir.
on that.
Yeah.
Before we let you guys out here, I got one question. Being that we are in Seattle, we all out here. Most of us in the room, Seattleites. It's mixed. I got this question for you. The latest and greatest mega star as far as hip hop goes that came out of Seattle has been Malcolm.
Yep.
And he took a lot of heat from the underground or the streets of Seattle saying he doesn't represent us, he doesn't speak for us, he's not our voice. And I wasn't here when Baby Got Back and all that came out. But from what I understand, you got a lot of that backlash too.
That's mandatory.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, that's what it is. I mean, when I did Posse on Broadway, I was broke, right? And the record took off, people loved it. But when you get a couple bucks, some of that happens. I mean, some of that happens. It doesn't matter how much you give either. I tried that. Believe me, I at one point gave till I was bankrupt. And Cat still said I didn't give him enough, right? So I just said, well, you know what? I'm not going to do that again. Went back, reorganized, got my stuff back together, and I don't even worry about it, man. I remember, you know, Ice-T told me this years ago. He said, man, I came to Seattle, man, and I was up on Broadway, and a couple cats kind of hating on you. And he shook my hand. He said, I know you're making bread. I mean, and that's what it is. So my thing with Macklemore, man, he's the epitome of what today's business should be. I mean, this cat went to a major label and said, I got 2 or 3 million followers. You're not signing me, I'm employing you. And I need you to work this to radio. Instead of hating on this cat, learn from him.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta be his girlfriend, just learn from him.
I mean, that's a silly,
I don't really get that.
that's a silly tradition in hip hop, period. Like,
It is.
everybody feel like once you have some success, you're a sellout or something. But it's, in my opinion, it's jealousy and envy, especially when it comes from your own backyard. You know, who wants to see a great artist be hungry, panhandling, you know, or
Then they laugh at you, right?
Yeah, or they laugh at
Yeah.
you, or you peddling on the corner, kicking raps. You know, you still in ciphers or whatever.
I remember I used to be the hater, right? When I first started, I just hated everybody, right? I did this little song, and I was like throwing hits at Run DMC. And then when I met him, I hear this, what's up, bro? You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's like, you're right, it's a hip hop tradition. It comes from the battling days, but, you know, rap battles are not about money. It's about skills. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, haters are everywhere.
Hey, this is
You need a few.
And the minute someone tends to have some success, you got a significant amount of people who start hating, and you got to expect that.
But when you modify your art to suit that hater, that's when you're over. Hater won. Don't modify your art for that. I mean, you know, even playing ball. Yeah. I mean, you should. I mean, I don't even play for the Seahawks, right? And we went to San Jose. Man, you thought we was criminals.
They was hating on Seattle like that?
In my lion sale, man, they was like, I can't say it on your camera, but
Yeah, really, you can.
yeah, man.
Barbershop,
Like I just saying,
Fans is rough, man.
yeah,
Fans
you
is
see,
rough.
they see the Washington plate like this one dude. I was in the Denny's, man. I'm keeping it 100 since I can get away with it. So I'm in this Denny's. We just destroyed Denver, right?
Yeah.
And I'm down there. I did some shows, chilling in San Francisco by myself. So these 2 old brothers are sitting there, and they looked outside to see my license plate. They said, "Yeah, Washington, man. Fuck the motherfucking son." I mean, this dude's like 70. He talking like straight
Oh,
good.
dude, I thought he was just saying.
He was like, he talking about Richard Sherman.
Yeah.
He said, then the dude said, yeah, but Richard Sherman's from Cal. I don't give a fuck. Break that motherfucker's leg. I'm like, damn. I mean, so people like, but then as soon as the Seahawks lost, no, they don't. Now it's New England. So haters, man.
that's their job.
Haters gonna hate.
Nobody wants to hate a loser.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true. When when I was broke, they loved me.
Oh yeah, everybody was.
It's gonna be all right.
Hey, come on, man. Hang out with us.
All right, B.
Or they do.
It's gonna be all right.
How come you broke, bro? How come you broke? You ain't doing shit, right? And you make paper.
That's how it be.
You know, but I love it, man.
Well, listen, man, I want to thank you guys for being here with us in the barbershop. Before we leave, tell everybody where they can find you guys at. Now, I know, by the way, I'm going to tell everybody a secret that they don't know. If you got a CB radio, you can find Prime, right?
Yeah, I used to build amplifiers and illegal shit. Big ones, too.
Yeah, you trying to drown everybody out.
Yeah, my neighbors made me shut that shit down. I was popping up toasters and opening garage. I had to stop all that.
But yeah, tell everybody where they can find you guys at.
You can find me easy at The Real Mix on Twitter, at The Real Sir Mix-a-Lot on Instagram. Same thing with Facebook. And don't come to my house.
I'm at weareDeLaSoul.com, De La Soul's Dugout. I'm DJ Maseo on Instagram, and I'll be DJing at a club near you.
Let me say this. Talk about paying dues. First met this cat on a tour. Let me tell you something about the chitlin circuit, bro. I thought that was gone. We was doing the 5th Ward in Houston, Texas.
Did I tell you about that yesterday?
Next to an abandoned building. I'm talking about boarded up apartment building. I'm like, I know
Wait, what songs were you playing? Were you
watching like my Hoopty and Posse on Broadway?
Posse on Broadway.
Y'all was still playing
With
the
the Ghetto
chitlin circuit?
Boys?
Yeah.
Ghetto Boys is like tour guys.
Yeah, and we had Potholes in My Lawn out, and Jennifer. We only had two singles out.
Jenny.
It was Plug Tune and Freedom of Speak, Potholes in My Lawn, Jennifer. He was the headliner. And
yeah, that was scary.
and Ghetto Boys.
Wow. We got on the stage with some girls.
I grew up with Bushwick Bill.
Is that right?
That's right. He's
We don't get no joke.
He's from Brooklyn, and then he moved to Texas. One of the kids.
Man, we threw my girls off stage in Houston. That's what they said. They said, them hoes ain't getting naked. They wanted them naked. That's the
bucket.
I just brought their girls up. They got naked. I'm like, okay.
We just turned the Seattle Interactive Tech Conference all the way out. All the way out. So if anybody want to get naked, I'll turn the camera off now.
I'm surprised you said it.
You know
I remember all that.
They dissed my girl. Them girls ain't shit. I said, I'm paying them, man. So we had to bring their girls on stage. And man, they got it. Yeah.
88, 89 was a defining moment in hip hop for us all. Like, it was a blessing. Everybody was under one roof. It wasn't, that East-West thing is a fallacy. Straight up.
Didn't exist.
It really didn't exist, man.
I went on a tour one time, just to give you an example of how crazy tours were back then. It was me, NWA, Public Enemy, Ice-T, MC Hammer, and Stetson Son. Chuck was doing these tours, and what he would do, they were regional. So it was a nationwide tour. The only thing consistent was him and NWA. But they would pick up people that were hot in certain regions. It was genius, man.
It was smart.
It was very nice. Yeah. Chuck's a big dude.
Between Chuck D, and I can honestly say, Leo Cohen and Russell Simmons kind of wrote the blueprint for hip-hop business. The way we all toured and how we all at one point shared the same audience, which showed the audience, how much we really rocked with each other. That we weren't a separated culture like it is now.
What's crazy to me, because I remember that whole generation, that whole era, is that Def Jam, now if you look at it, it's a big, giant conglomerate, but I remember watching it when it was just an infant. Yeah. It was like a family, like the family.
Def Jam is one thing. Rush Management was something else.
There you go.
Def Jam was the label. Still had different ideas that was like a label. But the management was completely something else. And we were all a part of that in some form or fashion. If you weren't under Rush Management, you did some kind of business with them.
I'll tell you what, we can do this all day, man. I ain't gonna do it. We have some real heavy. But
Barbershop's a man's country club.
Give it up for some Mix-a-Lot, DJ Maseo. Really good do this all day.
Appreciate it,